Okay, first thing you want to do to get a vessel into Navis Master is export it as an OBJ and name that OBJ whatever your ship's name is. You're going to export that to Navis Master folder, Navis Master data, mods, and then your folder will be here. I've called mine white class. You can see my OBJ file is the same. Right, so that has to be, if it's not showing up in the list in Navis Master, these names are not matching. So it won't show up in Navis Master. Alright. Then we'll log into Navis Master, go to Mod Tools Alpha, and you'll see a list of ships here, all your ships, and you look for your name. Mine's white class. Right, load model. Okay, right click WASD is to manipulate the camera position. And you'll wait for loading to be done, and then you'll be able to. Alright. You can see the vessel's in, PBRs are working. Okay, first thing, when you export them, all the axis positions are on 0, so you can export all your parts in one file and it'll recognize here. Controls and features will just give you a rundown as to how to do all the controls, how to work each menu that you see down here. So next we want to open the editor and rename our parts. Prop's got to be prop, and the rudder has to be rudder, and the helm has to be helm. Okay, to move them you can simply click and drag, or you can click and move your camera, WASD. So it's as easy as that. Centralize. Right, that's in. Let's bring the prop. Okay, so you can click on it and hit Control C, Control V, and you'll see another one spawn. Its position is 1.73. We'll put it negative 1.73. And then click on it and mirror, and you'll have counter-rotating props. And call it Prop 2. Alright, same story with the helm. And that's it for the editor. Clicks. Oh, sorry, no. Interaction bow. As soon as you click on it, a sphere will spawn, and you'll place this somewhere around in the bow. X will be 0, and then these are your water interaction spheres. So interaction stern, we'll place it here somewhere. Click 0 on X. Just check where it is. Yeah, it's okay. And then same story for the smoke. This is where your smoke will be spawning from. 1 and 2. Let's 0 it and 0. Right, that's it. Hit save and let's move on. Buoyancy. You need a minimum of 4 buoyancy points, which in most cases is fine. So you click left control and left click. Left control, left click. And that's it. It snaps to hull, so it'll always snap to your hull. Alright, let's hit save. Next we want to do some lights. And I suggest you make it a bit dark so you can see what you're doing. That makes sense. So click symmetric if you want both lights to spawn on either side of the ship equally, and then group edit. So we'll select our first group of lights, which is going to be deck. So whatever I add to this is going to be grouped automatically to that switch. So left click, left control, left click. And let's drop the hour so we can see the light a bit better. There we go. You can also adjust the intensity here and click and move it around. Okay, we'll just throw a few around just for interest's sake. Right. But you get the idea. There's something back here. Alright, you can change the color and the type over here. So I want to switch the shadows on for all of them right now, so I'm going to hide the ship by clicking hide object, and I can click in each one at a time and say enable shadows. Click enable shadows. Right, shadows come at a huge performance cost, so use them at your own discretion. If you've got hundreds of these, I wouldn't suggest having shadows on, all of them, because you're going to get a huge frames per second cost. Right, and then we can just see if they're all working by unhiding the object again, and yeah, we can see shadows are on. Yeah, they're all working. You can see them over there. Right, let's add the two. So that group's done. So we're going to untick that light, and then we're going to click on search lights, because I'm going to add the spotlights over here. Left click and click spotlight. Click spotlight. Alright, let's manipulate this one. Let's get some intensity. There you can see it shining over there. Let's rotate it until we see I want it shining forward. See, we're being difficult to rotate, huh? Let's go that way around. Okay, we're still being difficult. Let's put in 180 and move it around until I see something shining. Yo. 0. Let's bring it down here. I'm trying to get it to shine forward. It seems to be stuck. 120. Oh, of course, I've got this facing the wrong way. Yeah, there we go. Okay, range, let's make that shine about 50 meters. Put that going over there somewhere. And then you can play with these settings depending on you like them. And I like the shadows on, because I don't have too many lights, so performance wise I can afford it. Right, once you've done all your lights, you can click save. And then in the CFG, you're going to put all your parameters as you usually would. Right, ship length, beam, draft. I've got 2 engines in this case. Then all your engine parameters. Smoke's already done in the editor. Propeller's done in the editor. The rudder's done in the editor. You can add your thrusters. Your helm will be done there as well. Here you can set the parameters of the sphere. So if you want the sphere to have a bigger interaction size, you'll set that here. And then if you want it to be a bit more react a bit more harshly with the water, you can also increase and decrease the weight depending on what you like. But I suggest you play with these because there's a lot that happens here. Alright, and then we'll click save, and then we'll say save to mesh bin. Now that's the last thing you do. After you've done this and you hit simulate, don't click save mesh bin again, because it'll destroy all your positions. Right, we're probably going to grey that out in the future so that you can't make that mistake. Alright, let's test everything. The rudder's working. Let's see our props. Engine on with I. And then O for the starboard engine. That's working. Let's check the smoke. That's working. Switch on the lights. They seem to be working. And then spotlights. There you go. Right, let's increase our throttle. See throttle increasing over there. There she starts moving. And let's have a look at the spheres working. And there you see the interaction sphere starting to take effect. You can actually see the size of the sphere that's set in the CFG. You can see a ball size interaction. So you can adjust that to however you like. Alright, and that's it. Your boat's in. So go have fun.